nice little tight number here today. So if you guys got any questions, let's just roll through it. Thanks for allowing me to miss last week too. I just had friends and family over, so I was just sort of cruising around. So if anyone starts with questions, let's just start rolling now. And obviously got a few less people in here today, so we can dive a lot deeper for any questions that anyone has. So let me know.
Hit the raise hand button, guys, if you want to ask questions. So then we kind of know have a sort of order. So there we go. 2 questions there. So
do I open queue from my side? Oh yeah, here we go. We'll start Ali.
Oh man, bro. So currently running a business with one of my mates, and we run like a forex trading business, teach people how to trade. At the moment, we've kind of like plateaued in our numbers. Like for the last 3-4 months, we just plateaued. We're putting out heaps of content at the moment, and so most of our business is just coming in from like YouTube content, Instagram content, and so now we just want to get into ads. And we don't really know the best way to go about ads, and we've been like, I've seen your ads and the way that you've been structuring them. So you've been getting like, I've seen you do like video type ads, and then you've got kind of like a carousel type ad. What is the best, like, where are you getting the best ROI on what kind of ads you're putting out?
So what I've got my team focusing on at the moment is like the hook at the start, which has been which they're testing out. So within Facebook advertising, you can follow like the hook rate of how far they go before they check out of the video. So I think my best one at the moment is like I built a brand that does like $20 million. Like that type of hook's been really working for me. So what we've got the team doing at the moment, they've grabbed the best hook that's working. We've actually run it back through ChatGPT, and we're just seeing if we can build out 10 different versions of that. What you're actually going to see with those ads, so the ads I'm doing now, they're starting to fatigue, which means the return on revenue for those aren't actually that great at the moment. They're getting higher and higher, the cost per click. So the reason why I'm raising the price of my course, we started at $9 US, you might have come in at $18 US, now it's going up to $25 US. It just allows us to have a bit more money to spend money getting people into the funnel. And we use a few different funnels at the moment. So I've got that ManyChat funnel. So whenever you see me jump on and reply learn or reply hustle. There's that automated system that already works out like that. We're testing that out at the moment. That at the start, that was really great. It started to die down a little bit. And probably the reason why it is dying down is because I'm not probably promoting it as much. I feel weird about using the word hustle for some reason, because like I've got a weird thing about like online gurus, and even though I'm in this space, like I don't want to be associated with those types of people. So whenever you see my content, I'm like, I'm not a guru, I'm not, because I don't want to be that person or be affiliated towards that. So ManyChat's working all right. A lot of the videos for us are working okay. Like we said, they're starting to fatigue. So I'm making another 4 videos today based off the data that worked really well for us. And then we're just going to reposition those. Probably on the first episode we've done of this is like getting super niche with who we're targeting. So obviously are you Polynesian? Yeah, so you're Polynesian. So one of the demographics I have for my marketing when I speak to people is I target Polynesians, I target people from small towns, I target people that look like me. So whenever I speak, you hear me go like I speak in those terms. So I'm talking directly to someone. You know what I mean? If you look at it, like probably everyone within this community, there's a lot of Polynesians or Kiwis within it because they're relatable as well. So I know you're doing a lot of ad content at the moment. It'll be like looking at all the data, seeing what's working, and then pushing those out across a few different platforms. The carousel ads that were pictures were working really well for us at the moment. I know Gary Vee's big on carousels. So we're testing a lot of the data, but it is like we haven't scaled our spend. So I'm spending between $100 to $150 a week on ads. We're probably getting about 5 or 6 people a day into school, which is pretty good. But it depends how long all you guys stay here and how much value I can give you guys during that time. But what we're actually going to do, and I put it in a post maybe last week, is like as soon as I get all the data for ads and what's working, I'm actually just going to post it all in here because the guys who run all my ads are actually part of the school community too. And they're like super nerdy, bro. So they're like they love data, they love numbers, they all love all this sort of stuff. But once we find winning ads that actually going to work, we're going to show you how I scale them, because I'm getting about 2x, 3x ROAS at the moment. So if anyone doesn't know what ROAS is, return on ad spend. So if I spend $10, I'm getting $30 back. If we can get that higher, I'll start pumping the money into it, and you'll probably see this group go a lot bigger. But you'll see it get a lot bigger, but I'll also like show you exactly how I've done it as well. So I wish I had a super clear answer for you, but in the back end of this school thing, we're still testing out a lot of things as well. And I'm getting angry. I'm in the WhatsApp going, fuck, let's scale, let's move quicker. But they're like, no, let's just chill. Like we don't have the right metrics in place for us to grow. So but I'll also get so Will, he's a part of this group here. He runs our ads, he runs a auto AI, so he builds out all the chat funnels for ManyChat and all that sort of shit here. I might get him to jump on maybe next week and we can do a live collab as well, because he's a pretty smart dude. But I've just sort of been keeping him in the background at the moment just so he can do all my stuff first before he starts like moving out. But yeah, ads is hard, bro.
Just like chucking out a couple ads and then just collecting the data from those ads and then developing on the one that's got the best hook rate.
Yeah, so if you know what your ad spend is for the week, so say it's like $100, so you plug in on all your creatives at the top, and the like $100 doesn't split out $25 evenly to the 4 ads. It starts to move towards the ones that are working, and then you'll be able to see all the data for that, and then you cut the other ones off, and then you sort of scale from there. It's changed from back in the day, because I used to do all our own ads for YKTR, and like it was a different time. I think it's a lot easier, but it's also there's a lot of more people in the market. So I still think ad spend is a great tool to have, but if you can grow your organic channels through TikTok, through clearer messaging, through showing value. I know a lot of guys at the moment, they're always doing that, like, oh, let's make money online, you know. And the way I talk about it now is like, it makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm in that space right now. It's like, how can you create wording? How can you create an ad that's the opposite to those guys? You know what I mean? I see the guys like, I used to cut hair and like, fuck that. And it's like very aggressive with all their language and content. And because they're targeting like a certain demographic, bro. So if you want to target someone who's like a little bit, he might be a dad that's got kids that wants a little bit more extra money, but he's not like, fuck this, fuck that. You know what I mean? So, and that style of content works, don't get me wrong, but just for me personally, and you seem pretty chill, I'm pretty sure that type of content doesn't always resonate with you. It kind of puts you off.
Yeah, no, that's it. Oh, man, sure,
yeah, no worries. Jordan?
Hey, bro. Just had a question around like ads again. I just find it like easier to grow on Instagram and TikTok through organic ads, but Facebook, like people were saying it's better to spend on Facebook. But yeah, I guess what are your thoughts there? I've heard different stories. I'm like, it's good to spend on ads, and then I've also heard like it isn't. But what I've noticed is my Facebook is like, bro, it's only getting like 1 or 2 likes on a post or video compared to like the organic reach of Instagram and TikTok. And I don't mind spending on Facebook for ads, but I just haven't really dived into that area. But yeah, what do you think, bro?
You know, Facebook and Instagram, same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's kind of no separation there. Like I know what you're saying, because we do the split posts and shared posts. Like when we post something, it goes over towards our Facebook as well. And we just kind of track the metrics as like a whole. So instead of just going, all right, here's $100, like 80 of it's going onto Instagram, 20 onto Facebook. We just like to look at it holistically across the week, going, oh, these are the conversions that we've actually got from it. In terms of like TikTok ads, I haven't really done TikTok ads before. I still think that's the best place to go with organic content, and I'm probably a bit of a hypocrite for not posting or having a social strategy around that. But if Instagram and TikTok are working for you, it's the next question is go, all right, cool, I've got $1,000 I want to spend a week on advertising. Let's start 50-50. And then you might go, all right, cool, we're getting 20 sales on Facebook this week and only 5 from TikTok. And then you start shifting your money like that.
Yeah.
And sort of like I said earlier before, I'm been in the testing phase for the last 6 weeks. Helps I've got a bit of a team behind me because who know exactly what they're doing in terms of data, emails, all that sort of stuff as well. But it's like just being strategic with it and being patient with it. And probably a couple of years ago, but you could throw money in and get sales and shit like that straight away.
Yeah.
At the moment, bro, it's like it's such a tight market because there's a lot of money that's in the market. You just have to be really smart with it. But organic's still the best way to go if you can make really good organic content. All right, cool. All right, next. Monaroa, did I say that right?
Yep, good as pretty good pronunciation there. Hey bro, so just this is quite a broad question, but my sister and I are launching a clothing brand. It's something that we've always wanted to do, but we're just so like overwhelmed, I guess, as to like what's the best way that we're going to reach people to like want to come and look at us and get traffic.
How far along are you with the clothing? Do you have it here?
Yeah, so we have our we just did our bulk order, so that's coming, and literally in the processes of talking to people and like photographers, like stuff like that. We're trying to find a videographer to also come on set with us. We'll be doing that, but not too far off going live.
What's your point of difference with your clothing brand?
So my sister and I, it's the designs on it. So my son has drawn a lot of the stuff. So for us, like we want to target the mums that, or the mums and the dads that like stuff like that, or just we wanted to. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but like it's driven by our kids, and so like a lot of our designs, yeah, like I said, have come from my son, like his drawings. And we've chucked them on hoodies and stuff like that. And just from the feedback that we've gotten from our family, but obviously that's family, they love it. So for us, it's like a family-centered base brand. So that's kind of our selling point there.
That's cool. First of all, congratulations on that. It's a lot of people don't even make it to that point. But one thing that we sort of talk about a lot within this group is having founder-led content at the moment. So a lot of people follow YKTR or Ice Project because I'm in front of the camera a lot. So for you guys, you need to be able to tell that story and then spread it out to your target demographic of people that are leading up to you. So I think a good exercise to go through would be the classroom and the personal branding one. There's a way to that I teach you how to structure your content throughout the day, and there's different ideas that you can do through that. But yeah, I think a lot of it is like either you getting in front of the camera or your son getting in front of the camera, showing them how he draws and how to do that, and get a sentimental value about your clothing. So Kanye West said it best about clothing. He goes, a hoodie's a hoodie. So if you look at this t-shirt, like I can tell you about the GMS, GSM, the fabrications, where I pulled it from, how I made it, got the design, blah, blah, blah. But some people just see a t-shirt for the sake of being a t-shirt. Now, if you get a lot of people wearing a Warriors jersey, they wear it because they feel like they belong to something. They're attached to something. So the key part of clothing is not to sell the clothes, but sell the feeling of wearing the clothes. That's the big part of it. So if you get people that feel part of the community, if they love your story, if they love your content, if they love your day in the life, if they love your son because he kind of got the same haircut as their son and he likes to draw as well, that's how you build the connections. And I don't know where your connection is that's going to fire for you, but the only way you can figure that out, and it's the same as the other boys, is like posting as much content as humanly possible, not judging yourself on the content. Then be like, oh, like, this isn't as good as that person's, or I don't speak as well as that person. But I think one thing that could get really clear for you is like if I come back to you next week and I go, what is your brand about? You've got a very clear message and what it's about. And you could probably Trinity, you're about to get what she said in the transcript, plug it through ChatGPT and get 5 or 10 different examples for it. Maybe we can teach her how to do that. Just that way it can become very clear. And I'll give you an example about YKTR. So when we first started, we were kind of like the show Entourage, where we had like 3 or 4 boys. We all played professional rugby league. Like we loved to party, chase girls, travel. And our demographic at the time was young dudes that love to do the same thing. And like we used to film it. So when we first started our brand for the first 7 years, it flew, it took off. And then we all grew up, and our demographic grew up with us. Our customers grew up with us. So those young dudes that used to party and gamble, they all grew up and become men and had kids and become fathers. So that sort of type of stuff isn't relevant anymore. So you'll see us YKTR pretty soon as we'll rebrand our whole business, just because the cycle of 8-9 years, you have to change or people just get bored of it. And we're into working out in the morning now and training and trying to be the best at versions that we can be within our 30s. We're going to have to change our whole brand. And I'll give you an example, and I'll use one of the things that we're going to use. So we're going to be calling it 5 to 9. So that time in the morning from 5 a.m. to 9 before we go take on the world, we're working on ourselves. So when people stand in front of me in an elevator and go, what does your brand stand for? I'm not like, back in the day, it's like, oh, we're YKTR, we're boys and we have fun and we have travel. I'm like, we're the crew that gets after it in the morning. And that's it. So I can sound very convincing when I say that. And if I'm convincing through my voice and my content, you'll find people start to buy it from there. So just get very clear on what your brand does and who you're targeting, and then you can build your content out from there. So I think it's a good place to start.
Thank you.
No worries. How's I?
Hey, bro.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, bro. I've got a couple of questions,
Go ahead.
if that's all right. I'm mainly on my Instagram and Facebook, but I don't have a Facebook page or anything. But my Instagram, it's got a little bit of a following. Should I be going to other social like TikTok and as well, or should I focus on one? Or
I'd go TikTok, and same as with everyone else, just have a bit of strategy behind it. So be like, all right, cool, this is what I'm going to post from Monday to Friday. And instead of just like thinking about your content on the spot and go, where should I post this? You're like, all right, cool, I'm going to film all my stuff on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to schedule my stuff. So on Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, there's content coming out. And then you post that on TikTok as well, where a lot of people get overwhelmed is they'll be like, oh, I don't know what to post and where to post it. And then like there's that analysis paralysis where they're like, oh, fuck it, I'm just not going to do it. Bro, just have a strategy and some structure and then do that for a month and plan it out. And you can sort of just roll from there, bro.
okay, yeah. Sorry, yeah, structure that, yeah. And I've got the ebook coming out soon.
Yep.
That I've got. It's all like getting fixed up and that. What's the best thing after? What do I do like after I pump the ebook out? What do you think I do after that? I don't know. I'm a bit lost. Like, is there something you do after that to keep it like workshops or?
Yeah. Ideally, an ebook is something that's evergreen. So that means it lasts forever. So if you've got your like something down here that you can sell and it's an ebook, all you got to do is instead of trying to think of the next thing, instead of oh, let's do an online course or an online program first, is to get more people into the funnel. So you might have 400 people that buy your book now. You got to try and get 4,000 people to buy that book, bro. So like if a lot of authors, they don't drop a book every single year because they spend the time promoting that book, publishing that book, and then just trying to get people into that book as well. So probably one way that you could do that is say your book has 6 chapters and they're targeting 6 different parts. It's just always making content around those things that encourages people to drive people down there. And very similar what we said to Ali before is like, who's your demographic? Who are you targeting? So when you jump on and you start talking, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one.
Yeah.
Be very clear with who you're talking to. I talk to islanders from New Zealand that want to start a business. I talk to people from small towns that didn't have anyone to look up to in the business space, just like me. You know what I mean? So those things that are relatable to people, those are the people I talk to. And then therefore, when it comes time to convert and people to jump into this course, they're locked in.
Yeah. Okay. So sort of niche it. So I'm talking. Yeah. Sorry.
Don't think about like what's the next thing. So don't launch it and go, all right, cool, I'm out. You know what I mean? I've got my sales. What else do I need to do? Figure out like how can I fill this whole funnel up for people to come down to buy it? That's what I'd be thinking.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, right. Then so just like obviously promote it and then spend a lot of time on it to get people to keep buying it, and then each chapter,
See, think of it like this, bro. So say you own a McDonald's and you open up a McDonald's in a location and you're like, all right, cool, I'm gonna be here for a month. And then like, you're like, all right, cool, let me move this location somewhere else. You know what I mean? Don't try and change the location, to change the amount of people that come in and come back into the funnel as well. So you might use that book to launch volume number 2 and volume number 3. Eventually, you might have expertise and other things as well that you want to talk about that you can sell ebooks. And I just seen that EBT guy, his name's Adam Sullivan. He's really big over here. He's just bought like $11 million house, but he just an air fryer recipe book of 50 recipes that you can cook in the air fryer that are under a certain amount of calories. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, what's your expertise within this industry, and then how many ebooks can I write from there? And use AI to do it. Like, don't just be typing away and shit like that. Just go, what's my industry? And then type in below in the prompt, hey, if I was to build out 6 different ebooks, give me 5 separate chapters on each of these ebooks, what, based off the research around the internet of what people want, build these out for me, bro. You could build out 6 ebooks tonight if you want to. It's just like, it's just doing the know-how, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Hope that helps, bro.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
No worries. Jordan?
Yeah, bro, just had a question. Like, how do you stay focused coming to the end of the year? Like, it's going to be our busiest time with our clothing brand, but like, bro, I have like an event like every week. I had 2 last week. Got a Halloween party, got a CrossFit party, got a boat party, got my staff party, and it's like, man, I died over the weekend, and I like sort of lost Monday, which was big. It's like, yeah, I guess how do you like stay locked in and stay focused, especially coming like into that silly season?
I think just like, just don't judge yourself, bro. That's the big one. Like, I hang with guys at the gym and they're sort of same thing. They're like, oh, I've literally got 7 weeks of events in a row, and normally I used to be in a position like you. I'm like, oh, I'm like, you know, I'm going to be struggling on Monday, or I didn't train on Monday, so I'm not going to be as like efficient. Just don't judge yourself, bro. It's the best time of the year. Like, enjoy those times. You know? Like, there's always more work to do. You miss a party and you're working for that time. Trust me, I've missed like 2-3 years of my life. I've missed first birthdays, I've missed nephews' birthdays, because I thought in my mind I had to be working to justify myself as an entrepreneur on the internet. Fucking no one cares. And I got to a point where all my friends were having babies. I didn't even know the babies' names, bro. You know what I mean? So I've missed chunks of my life working my ass off, and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Do the stuff that makes you happy. Enjoy the off season. Like this fun season coming in here as well. Probably the big one is like, you don't want to be leaping into the new year. So a lot of people do New Year's resolutions, and because they've had enough silly season where they're like, oh fuck, like I'm fucked. I'm not going to be drinking for a week more or a month, or I want to zone in. Most people give up their resolutions after like 16 days or 18 days anyway. So probably that you could do, bro. You could go, if I get to the 31st and I want to achieve this in my business goals, this in my fitness goals and health goals, and still enjoy my life, like I think that's a good place to go. Because if you've got nowhere to measure, you might get there and go, all right, cool, I'll put on 2 kgs, but that's okay. I've allowed for that and I'll plan for that. The target to make $100,000 over this next 2 months, or $50,000. You know what I mean? So set some financial goals, some physical goals. But like you said, it's the most enjoyable time of the season. Like daylight savings now, having fun, everyone's having beers. If you are going to drink on the weekend, you might go, all right, cool. If I am going to drink on the weekend, I'm doing 4 training sessions this week before I can touch a beer. So set the parameters around work ethic and training, and then I think you'll be fine after that.
Oh, I mean, bro, thank you. That makes so much sense. I think I was just being a little bit too hard on myself there, but yeah.
That's what every entrepreneur does. It's like you get lost and like you feel like you should know what to do. And like, trust me, every entrepreneur goes for the same vibe of, first of all, imposter syndrome. Like, I don't know what to do and I don't feel like I belong here. When things start going well, you think I have to be working all the time. You don't. You can become the biggest workaholic and lose your family. Like, you don't want to be doing that as well. You know what I mean? So just enjoy it, bro. Because like, trust me, I've missed part of my life, like 3-4 years of my life where I was a workaholic and I just missed life. I woke up. You know, sometimes when you're driving and you're like, fuck, how did I get here? Like, Yeah, bro, you can get like that in business, bro. It's a pretty scary place to be. So you don't want to miss out on life.
Cool. Thanks, bro.
No worries. Any more questions? Billy, jump on, bro. Your mic's not on, bro. There we go.
Mic. Oh, hey, bro. I'm just about to meet an investor tomorrow to talk about he's going to invest in some capital for a business that I've got. He's wanting 33% in the business, which is quite a bit, and I'm just sort of wanting some advice in terms of I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of thinking it's a bit within the business for what he's asking for.
Yeah. Is he putting it, have you got your business valued for what it's worth?
Not yet. No, I think it's more sort of on just potential alone. I've sort of presented him with the business plan and that, and we've already invested quite a bit of money into it, and so it's just sort of I think he knows that it's going to be, it'll go pretty gangbusters if we execute it right.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think about the conversation I'm going to have with him tomorrow, I guess.
So 33 feels like a lot to you?
It does a little bit, but at the same time, I think we need to accelerate it. He's got a little bit of money behind him, and he's quite keen to put it down in front of us, and then that'll make us move a lot quicker. So I think especially with Christmas coming up and summer, our product will really sort of fly out the door through the season.
Yeah.
So it's important to sort of go fast and hard, I guess.
Yeah, there's a couple options I can give you, and I can give you one. So I got an investor my first time this year, and the question my investor asked me, he goes, "Do you want to be rich or do you want to be king?" And do you know what that is? The founder's dilemma. Have you heard of this?
Nah.
So like the saying is like, do you want to be rich or do you want to be king? Is like, do you want to be rich means you take less of the company, but if you get the right people within the company that can scale it up, your 66% of a $10 million business is 6.6 million, and his is 3.3 million. Now, if you want to be king, the king means you own all the land. But the problem with owning all the land, you inherit all the problems. You inherit the problems of the villager. You know what I mean? So the question is, and this is what he asked me, is like, do you want to be rich or do you want to be king? So when he asked me this question, if he had asked me this question 4 or 5 years ago, when I had investors trying to buy us out, I wanted to be king, because for me, I had too much ego within the business that I wanted to own it all. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's my business. I built this up. But the scary part about owning the business is when businesses start to fail, and I'll put in another $100,000, $200,000, and you've lost all your savings that you built up over those couple of years. It'd be nice just to be rich and have the right resources around it. So that's probably one question you need to ask yourself. The second one is just be open and honest. If you know what your end target is, I think that's a very clear place to communicate from. But also just be vulnerable without being weak within those negotiations, and just be like, hey, I feel a little bit insecure or vulnerable giving up 33%. I don't really have the answer for that. Why, but I feel like it could be a great acquisition. Is there different ways that we can build this partnership out? So one way might be a scaling one, where you might go, all right, cool, I want to give you up 20% of my business for, say, X amount. It might be $50,000, $100,000. But if we hit these clear targets after 6 months, 12 months, that automatically unlocks the rest of it as well. So there's different ways you can move. It's just got to have the conversation. And the good part about this, bro, when you negotiate with investors, if they start to get a little bit testy or get angry at you because they feel like they're getting done, it's a great way to say this probably relationship isn't going to work as well. So moving into negotiations where you're very clear on what you want your outcome to be. So your goal might be, all right, cool, I want to build a $10 million company and exit it, but I need you to get us towards that point. I think that becomes a little bit clearer. Building out numbers. I use ChatGPT to build out all our numbers, and just being open, honest, and vulnerable within the communication at the start of it, and being happy just to walk away as well. Remember, the power of negotiation is always in the hands of the person that cares the least. I guess the biggest thing for me was his activity within the business, because he was just going to put the money forward and sort of sit back.
And
Yeah,
I guess I just wanted that 33% being pretty active within the business. And so that was one thing that I was going to go to the meeting with tomorrow, just sort of rather than it just be a little bit of a cash injection and
yeah.
sit back.
Yeah, but say he wants 33, just go, all right, cool. Well, I can give you 23% or 20% of the business for the cash flow injection, but I want your expertise in there because I think with you could help us grow. So your conversations with him is like, I don't need you in the office or wherever you work from all the time, but I need you for an hour a week to advise me on where we need to go. Because if he's got expertise within that space, it moves like a little bit different. So you might go, all right, cool, let's do 20% for the cash injection, but if you want the 13%, I need your expertise as well, because I need your to help us scale. And is he the right guy to do it?
Oh, I don't know if he is. He's just fallen in it, but he's just he's just the right person at the time at the time. But I've got a couple of family members and that are like that are good mates of Matt Moylan and so I think he's gonna have a yarn to him as well and see if he wants to come in from Australia as well.
Yeah, I know
So,
Matty. He's one of my
yeah.
mates, Matty. So I think there's a few things to work out. Like, do you want to be rich or king? That's probably that's called Founder's Dilemma. Look that up. And then just being very clear in what you want and sort of the communication style with it as well. So don't walk in tomorrow's meeting expecting the deal to get done. Just walk into that meeting expecting to have a conversation. And it might take 4 or 5 meetings because you might hear something he might say and you're like, oh no, this isn't it. And just trust, like if it doesn't work out, there's greater things away. Because I was very similar, like when I used to get deals, I'm like, no, like give me it now, like, because I used to panic no more we're going to come. But if you're doing the right thing and you're getting investors in at the moment, there's always going to be more investors.
Awesome, brother.
Hi, bud. Ari.
Hi guys.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So my question is, we will have seen that I've just got my 50 members with school, and that's pretty neat. But that was the first sort of block of people was for free people, and then now I've just added like a subscription for anyone that comes in. I got a couple of questions with this one. I suppose if there are any ideas in terms of, I've just noticed like engagement, you know, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to come into the group, but then actually like maintaining engagement and maintaining conversations, and I guess getting people to feel confident to share their thoughts and their input on the page. Do you have any suggestions with that?
I think I'm just doing like an introduction style post at the top, and even if it's really basic of like, you know, when you do group exercises with like we used to do with 40 teams or business, and you get people to introduce themselves and where they're from, just sort of those ice-breaking activities that you could potentially do online. Probably if you've got 50 people in there and you want to spend a bit more time on them, is probably doing these types of calls, but breaking them up into 4 or 5s. Because if you look at people's natural progression within school, within work communities, they'll normally break off into like 3 or 4s anyway. And then you can get those subgroups to feed into like those types of groups as well. Similar to what like you and Trudy do here, where you guys will bounce off each other and then we all meet for this meeting a little bit later. Maybe even building in some structure around icebreakers and just getting groups of people to know each other. And then when you come onto meetings, they can sort of bounce each other as well. And whenever you get a group of 4, there's always going to be one person who's more so a leader, and the next person normally won't ask a question until like that person asks a question as well. So like I see you as a bit of a leader, like whenever we jump on here, you'll jump on, do the first question, you're comfortable to do it, and then your friend comes in after. So I think that's a good way to do it. What you'll find with pricing psychology is too, the more that people actually pay for the service, the more they'll actually want to use it. So an example of this is like, you know, churn rate when people spit out of your school community. So say my current churn rate's about 8% at the moment. So if we get 100 people coming in, 8 are going out. What we've found with the 8 that are going out are the ones that have spent the least amount of money on it. So when you spend the least amount of money on it, you're not actually that bothered to use it. It's like a gym membership. If you're paying a $90 gym membership versus a free gym membership, in theory, the free one feels better. but the price of getting something for the cost of something, getting something for free is you don't actually appreciate it as much. So just watch as your prices go up. You'll probably find people stick around in the community a lot more because they're actually paying for it as well. So I think the icebreaker one's a good one. Maybe jump online and try and find some good icebreaking questions that are light, that are fun. And then I think over time you'll start to build it out. And actually, I'll send you something after this as well. I just followed this lady who talks about relationships, and she's got a core course model and a high ticket course model as well. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought of you like straight away when I seen it.
Wait, thank you for that. And then the other question, so off the back of my, thank you by the way for the suggestion, because it was the everybody wants to heal through breakups. So
it's a big market. It's like, because like when I went through mine, I just couldn't find anything that I could just relate to. So, but congrats on pivoting too. That was quick.
Yeah, and it was just cool to kind of, I mean, last night we had it, and also mentioned the same thing. They were like, I don't know, this is a topic I really talked about much, and I'm grateful that you created the space. So it's, it was helpful to get that feedback. Coming off the back of that, one of my mates he's in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and so he kind of like, what we're thinking about doing is collaborating, or not thinking, we're going to collaborate together to create a person type thing. And so you get this sort of masculine view, point of view, someone who's in a relationship, and then the feminine view of someone who isn't, but then also like blending the two perspectives together to help people be more effective in their relationships overall, but also to balance those energies within themselves. So he also wants to do a school community as well. And I guess what we're sort of like unsure of is, okay, so if we do this collab together, we create the space, and with this collab, we're going to also create maybe like a joint course together. Like, what would the suggestion be from you about how to work those logistics? You know, you want to drive people into his community as well as mine.
Yeah.
But then if we create a course together, like having on both of our schools, or like,
Yeah, there's probably no right. First of all, I think that's a great idea, because I was thinking about this the other day, where like, you know, silent treatment from a girl, it's very different from a girl's perspective to like a guy's perspective, where we don't really understand what's going on, and we sort of have to guess for the time, and we're asking the girl like what's wrong, and she's giving us single word answers. Now she's slamming kitchen doors, and we just got to try and figure out what's going on. But so I think it is funny to think about. All the boys are laughing down here too, because they know the vibes. Actually, that's probably a good avenue to go down, in terms of like both you guys are going, is like try and find the funny things within relationships that like everyone can relate to, and then that's the like sort of top of funnel marketing that comes down towards your course. Just off the top of my head, and there's no right or wrong answer for this, I would go, you have your own course that bases on around females. He has all of his on his school that bases around males. And then when you do a collaboration, whether it's an in-person workshop, where there is a separate school that's a high ticket item that helps couples navigate that period, and you guys are working together, make that the sort of the 50-50 split in revenue. So that way, it's kind of like, if you think about relationships, it's like you've got your own money, he's got his own money, but when we work together, we've got our own money as well. It's probably actually, it's probably an interesting topic that you could, I don't know if you've covered this already, about finances within marriages, because most relationships fail because relationships are under stress, and a lot of stress actually comes from money. So if you could do some research on how couples could split their money and build out sort of systems for that, I'm sure there's a right and wrong way to do it. I think that'll be an interesting conversation for people to have as well.
Yeah, and I guess too, what it could also, because I know that, well, it would be cool to for a woman to go and do the one, to kind of get more of an understanding of a man's perspective, and then for a guy to do my one.
So what you're going to do with that is, so you have your courses over here. Down the bottom, you have the masculine part, which brings over 4 to 5 things from his one. So 4 to 5 modules from his. And if you transfer over to his, you should be able to get a clip from that. So that you might do a 60-40 split on that, or a 80-20. So if you get females doing the masculine course and there's a link in there that's attached to it, you should get a clip of that.
Okay. Wait, could you explain that again? Sorry.
So you've got your courses over here. So,
Yep.
so that's a 6-part series. Down the bottom, have a masculine like classroom like we have. Grab 4 of his episodes, plug them into there, and then go, oh, hey, if you want to join the masculine course as well, this is my friend who does it. This course costs $100, and then you might get a percentage clip of that. So it might be 20 or 40% of that.
Yep.
So, and an interesting thing that you can do on school right now, and someone done it through mine, is you can get a link, and you know, school's like $100 a month.
Yeah.
School's giving you back $40. So say if you signed up to my link, I'd get $40 back from that as well. So it's just called an affiliate link. So have your course, have an affiliate link down the bottom that connects to his, and then when you guys do your combined courses, you just guys split it 50-50.
Hey, cool.
All right. No worries. Anyone else? If you've already asked a question, feel free to ask another one if you want. Everyone cool? All right, cool. All right, guys, thanks for jumping on. Really enjoyed that one. Be back on next week, and hopefully I gave you guys some value. I will start recording some. I've just signed a podcast deal with someone as well, so I want to put the marketing question that I had in maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's like, what's your business and how we can market it? And then I'll go in the podcast studio and record it out, and there'll be a private section within the classroom that does all the answering as well. Trinity's also recording this, so if you want to go back and listen to it, we're going to be plugging it into the classroom sections. But besides that, I'll see you back in the school community tomorrow, and I appreciate you guys. See you later.